Live here. Now go over to Instagram right now.
All right,
Hit
I'm
go
over here.
live.
Go live isn't clickable on Instagram.
It's up on the very right corner of the window of the preview.
Yeah.
It says go live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We green.
And then you're gonna mute.
And then mute IG.
There we go.
All
Hi
right.
guys. Good.
What's up?
Happy Wednesday.
Oh
Hello.
shit! Is it time for Beat Baux?
It is time to beat some box. What's up?
Hey, beat some Baux. Okay.
Beat that box.
Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your favorite weekly live stream dedicated to new music and mental health. My name is Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, and your favorite rapper owes me money. I am joined by the lovely co-host.
I am an angry PTA mom that's pissed off at the math teacher. No, I'm actually your dad's favorite waitress, Fawxy Boggs.
I was about to say you're a blonde bimbo smoking Indo playing Nintendo.
Oh, did you just make that up?
So did.
Put hip hop organics on the call. Have them previous Fawxy Boggs part 2.
You know, you would be surprised, man. Some other local rappers have hollered at, some ladies who are down with the thickness lately. So, hey, palm trees eyeing those protectors.
Hey, you can't blame them, right? They've got good taste.
You did, yo. Shout out to, all the underground hip-hop artists all the underground artists, period, who like the BBWs. Come on now. Welcome home.
Well, that's Johnny T's whole entire origin story is that's how he even got started with all this, because he wanted to give a space to the big girls and have them in his videos, because that's what he was passionate about. And he kind of got like borderline shunned about it. And so he started his own fucking thing. And that's how we get the beautiful songs that we all get. And he's just really like genuinely like a good human. And I'm really, getting a song from them for my birthday was probably the coolest thing to ever wake up to. Like, what the fuck? And it's actually good.
Shout out to MC Johnny T of Hip Hop Organics.
He's a math teacher too. Oh, I'm not mad
right?
at the math teacher. The PTA mom is happy with the math teacher today.
Yeah.
Paisley's here. Hi,
Paisley Hayes with the ass for days. We about to get this money in so many ways.
Hi. Paisley, if anybody's watching out there that wants to learn a little bit more about doing cam modeling, phone sex operation, Paisley actually does a really wonderful program. She's very intelligent. She knows a lot of information. There's a lot of people that learn really good stuff from her. It could be life-changing for you. And she is the master of phone sex operations, and she can teach you a lot. And tomorrow she's doing a webinar about body positivity.
You guys, please tune into that webinar if you can. Fawxy, do you know what time that starts?
It starts, I think, at 8 o'clock Central Time.
Okay, definitely tune in. Paisley Hayes is one of the most prized protectors, very much a day one part of this platform. So, a really good friend of mine. We talk all the time. So, yeah, nothing but love for Paisley.
Yes, 8 p.m. Central. So be there. And if you are interested in just, having some positive outlook, hearing some nice talk about body positivity, it's even a really wonderful time to be there. So 6 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock.
All right.
Whatever it's called. Eastern.
Blonde this blonde bimbo moment brought to you by Blonde. That's your Pokemon name. Go Blonde Butter. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god, I come out going, oh my god.
So like, are wine coolers in the frozen food section?
No. No, they're not, Dylan. I'm not that dumb. I was an alcoholic. Hey, so
my name is Fawxy and I'm an alcoholic.
Good fucking Wednesday, you guys. I think we should get our shit together and get to
all right.
talking.
Let's level up here. Mental health. You want to kick it off, Fawxy?
Sure. So every week we start with our mental health tip, mental health conversation. We just talk about them, health of the mind. Today I chose the topic of speaking your truth, because I think it's really important. And no matter what your career is, you are somebody that has to be your own biggest advocate in the things that you do. And if you're not speaking your truth, you're robbing yourself of a proper human experience. God damn it. I honestly have had some situations where I've spoken my truth as somebody that's in the adult industry already, you know, and I'm just a little wet behind the ears solo pup, you know, but like I'll be talking about what I deal with. And I think it's important to speak my truth. And even if it's not important, I always like, you know, important to other people, even if it's not like the smartest move to make for myself, it's at least I'm standing in like what I really feel. And when you betray yourself, how can you, you know, expect anybody else to like trust you or like fuck with you if you're not even like you? So I just wanted to kind of kick off that conversation about how important it is to just stand in your you-ness. Like um you are at the end of the day the person that has to sleep with the thoughts that you have to before you fall asleep. You have to think about all of those things that are hidden, you know, when you're trying to just zen and focus, and you want to know that you're not robbing yourself of like what's best for you. And so be you. Like don't ever fear being yourself because nobody can take that from you.
Well said, Fawxy.
Really? Because I felt like I was sounding like a freaking blonde bow.
No, I mean you sounded like you sounded like my fine ass co-host speaking the truth.
Hey, that's me.
There you go. There's that
Dylan,
smile. There's that giggle.
let's hear about your truth. How do you best
Okay,
suit yourself in speaking your truth?
standing in my truth means doing what's right, and also, you know what, this is one that I have to think about because I feel like I'm standing in my truth all the time. It means, being open and honest. It
Mhm.
means that, you stay 10 toes down till the money comes back around. What does that mean? It means that you have to stay committed to what your cause is and stay on your purpose, rain, sleet, snow, or hail. And there's going to be times that are slow. There are going to be times where you're not seeing things lucrative. You're not seeing a profit, and then those times you need to go back to the drawing board and see what needs to get adjusted. 9 times out of 10, you'll already know. But also, standing in your truth also could mean seeking help. It could be, first of all, I'm a man, and then I am a entertainer second or a creative second. All of these are adjectives added on to the man I am. But it means to standing in your truth means to have integrity and good faith that you'll turn out all right.
Right. And I think that a lot of like, I think we've talked about or touched on like my view on like growing up. It's like I think that we're always looking for like a grown up, you know, somebody that knows more than us. And I think that growing up is more of like a mindset like that you have to adapt to, of like trial and error. I think that true growth or like how you turn into the person that everybody looks for when shit's going wrong is that you just have to experience things and you have to make mistakes to like grow. And so like, you know, I have done plenty of things where I was standing in my truth, but I was wrong. You know, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that standing in your truth is always going to be the fucking right thing, but it's always the right thing for you because if you're not, then you're missing out on potentially like a life-changing
Mm.
lesson, something that can alter your whole entire future. You know,
Now,
if you're
also in the same spirit of making mistakes, here's this one for you. There's nothing wrong with being wrong.
right.
It's just that you just don't want to be wrong about the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, and it's a little bit humiliating to be wrong, but if you stand in that, like I think that a lot of the most like times where I've been built have been times where I've been really uncomfortable in my skin. So, you know, even just like body positivity, which, you know, Paisley is going to talk about tomorrow. You know, it's taken me a lot of trial and error to figure out how to like love my body right. And you know, it's just everything. It's just as long as you're doing right by you. Nobody else at the end of the day gives a fuck about you as much as you need to about you.
I
If
know that's right.
somebody else gives a fuck about you in the same way that you're supposed to be doing it for yourself, it's usually somebody that hates you. So like, you know, so you
No
don't,
lies detected.
yeah. So I think that that's awesome. Anybody in the chat want to chime in? I'm
Yeah.
checking out. I'm on
Does
the
Matt want to share what does standing in his truth mean? Anybody in the chat want to speak to what
yeah.
is standing in your truth? We want to hear from you, the palm tree, the protectors.
Yeah, and hey, thank you guys for being here. We have you know, sometimes we show up fashionably late because we start laughing too much.
Hey guys, please hit the like button. Please, when you come on in, show some love and support by hitting the like button. We need all the shares, all the recommendations we can. Make sure we know that you're active in here by commenting your palm tree, peach, and present emojis. That's triple P's on them. Come on, I'll say it one more time. Palm trees, peaches, presents.
We need to make a little jingle. Palm trees, peaches, so. Presents when you're present in the box.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
that sounded like something off of what's that country station on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? or Blaine County Radio and Grand Theft Auto 5. I've been playing a lot of GTA in preparation for 6, which is dropping in 2025.
So that's funny because my son, he wants to play GTA 5. He's like, we're getting GTA 5 for the Xbox because I'd be, you know, having him play on my 360. He's like, you know, you could play 5 on the 360. I'm like, I sure do.
When I first got 5, it was for 360. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just really happy. You know, I'm back on GTA 5. I feel like for many years when I didn't have an Xbox One, like it was broke. So this will be like the third time I beat it. But like there was like a gap of like, sheesh, like from 2017 to now that I didn't play any GTA 5.
Yeah, I've not played it yet. I was stuck on playing Left 4 Dead for like a good like 2 or 3 years. That's like all I played.
Wow.
Love that shit.
I've never really tried Left 4 Dead like that.
Oh my god, it's so fun. Hey, the Crown Prince spoke up. Quiet. He says, well, standing in my truth, knowing I will make mistakes, I need to remember to learn from my mistakes, not repeat them, and grow myself as a person. Thanks, Matt, for sharing with us. We always can count on you to be like really actually here. And I think
Matt is such a positive dude. Everybody, if you are not following Matthew McKinley, please go shoot that young man a follow. Yes. Out of Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes, good human. So yeah, let's move on to our hip hop news, which you didn't read into. So I'm going to be educating you guys on a couple of these hip hop news stories today.
Palmy was busy. Everybody say, boo, Palm, get hip, do your shit. No, I wouldn't say that. Fawxy, just take it away.
Stand in your truth. Hey, you know, hip hop news today. We're talking Drake is under scrutiny right now because a photo was shared of him. There is a rapper, I can't remember the rapper's name, but he was at a club and he had his young 11-year-old son there with him. They were throwing money, you know, really like just hip hop core. The kid's name is FNG Lil King. And so Drake is getting grilled for that, and people are really bringing up the fact that Drake's children are definitely not children that he would accept in a place like that. That he, you know, people made the comment of like, oh, his kid's probably in like Paris learning French, you know, and that Drake was supporting a young man in a space like that he shouldn't have been in. And there's also a lot of conversation that has been being had about like the grooming in the hip hop industry, as probably most of you know what's going on with Diddy. And things have been talked about for a while with him, with like Justin Bieber and Usher. And so there's a lot of stuff that's been coming out about grooming in hip hop specifically. And so it was very like out of pocket for Drake. Personally, I think that it's like fucking wild that an 11-year-old is in a club, let alone people taking pictures with that child. It's giving Drew Barrymore Little Girl Lost. Like, I thought that was shit that we like as a society like damned a long time ago, including children in those spaces. So I'm definitely on the side of the public opinion that Drake fucked up. What do you think, Dylan?
You know what? I think even if he did, it's Drake. He's going to get away with it. But, like, why have an 11-year-old in the club? It's simple. We got to look into, like, what label he signed with. And then, like, you can collect residuals because, like, the clubs will pay celebrities, obviously, to come through. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, as distasteful as it is, it's all about money, which makes the world go round.
Right. Money is the root of evil. So I agree with that statement anymore. It's just kind of, you know, eat the rich. You know how you guys all know how I feel. I'm not going to get started today. So yeah, I think it's fucked up. The other story that we're going to talk about, which this should be easy for you to jump in. We talk a lot about 50 Cent here at Beat Baux. We love 50. Get Rich or Die Trying, that album was definitely like a huge one for me growing up. I loved it. He's just fucking talented.
Shout
And
out to you, Curtis. More
he's
power to you.
hilarious. So he's apologizing for trolling and to all of the people that he's offended, 50 Cent is. And I am left wondering, is he still trolling? But you know, the thing is that 50, like, he doesn't tell no lies. Like, the things that he says are usually things that need to be said. um, and he came out talking about Diddy years ago. Years ago, he was talking about this shit.
Well, I think, in the spirit of clout chasing, which is the new crack epidemic, I believe that, 50 Cent's kind of built a career off of saying names. And then, back in the G Unit era, that kind of spread over to the games, kind of bread and butter be saying names. So I think there's nothing really new here.
Right. Well, he's trying to be a big, nice guy and he's apologizing. So that is something new. So maybe
big,
it's
nicey.
a big, nicey, nice. But
a big old softy. I think as 50 Cent gets older and, he steps more into that businessman bag that he's been in for a while, I think he's, learning some humility. And I think it's a good thing overall because a lot more like hip hop moguls should follow suit.
Yes, I definitely agree. I've always really rocked with 50. So whatever. If he wants to be nice guy or mean guy, I like him either way.
Right up.
Okay, so I've got lots of hip hop history. I kind of wrote it all jumbled up in my notes with dates, but I'm going to try to start on the 17th and work backwards. So today is Lil Jon's birthday. Yeah. He was born on January 17th, 1971.
Okay.
What do you think he's doing right now?
What?
Eating a bowl of cereal, watching CNN.
Like, John getting money. He has a show on the home and garden channel called Lil Jon Wants to Do What?
What?
Yeah, Google it. It's a show called Lil Jon Wants to Do What.
I'm obsessed. Hey, shout out to Jeremy Dolce, by the way. His merch is really dope. This is his Jeremy Dolce's half-baked shirt.
Yeah, he has a show on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, Jeremy Dolce's on Discovery.
No, Lil Jon is.
Yeah, no. Jeremy Dolce is. No. But that's funny. I'm going to have to check that out. I really like that. So he's probably not watching CNN eating cereal right now. But I wish, because I like that. He's like eating some Fruit Loops. I love Fruit Loops. I fuck with Fruit Loops. So then also today is the anniversary of January 17th, 1992, Juice, featuring obviously Tupac.
Classic.
Was released. Did you grow up like watching Juice and those kind of films?
Believe it or not, I mean, a lot of people around me definitely did, but I'm a late bloomer in many ways. So the first time I watched Juice was senior year college on YouTube. Better late than never.
Yeah, I've actually never seen Juice. I've only seen Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your
It's funny, on Monday at the MLK parade, I saw a dude with a bright yellow jacket for Don't Be a Menace for South Central.
Yeah.
Complimented him on it.
I love that movie. It's pretty fucking funny. It's a classic. But yeah, I never have actually watched Juice. But it's a classic also. So there's that anniversary.
You owe it to yourself.
Huh?
You owe it to yourself. Watch Juice.
I definitely should. And I also have on the 17th Tribe Called Quest debut album People's Instinctive Travels and the Passive Rhythm was certified gold on January 17th, 1996. Another one was certified gold on January 17th, 1996, and that's Nas's debut album Illmatic. So
there you go.
That's great. It's cool. I love Virgos.
Shout out to Nas. Yep.
Okay, so those have the same anniversary, which I thought was very interesting. And so then on the 16th of January was Aaliyah's birthday, 1979. Rest in peace. Aaliyah was probably one of the first women that I actually felt like empowered by. Listening to her, More Than a Woman, used to make me shed a tear as a child when I'd watch it. Her on that fucking motorcycle, just like, I don't know why, but it was very emotional to me. I really loved Aaliyah. Her and Lisa Left Eye Lopez were like, oh, and Lil Kim. Those were the women I was empowered by. Like, they're fucking amazing. And Missy Elliott for sure. But yeah, so rest in peace, Aaliyah. Big fan of hers. And we have on the 15th of January 2013 was ASAP Rocky's debut studio album, Long Live ASAP, which classic. Love ASAP, love the ASAP Mob. That mixtape that they did, I think we've talked about it before. It's really fucking good. It's one that like Flatbush Zombies were on, and it's got Coke and White Bitches.
Oh yeah. Wait, is that well, you said Long Live ASAP, or I thought Coke and White Bitches was on Lords Never Worry.
I was saying I like ASAP Mob, and that's that mixtape that I fuck with.
That one has bath salts with Flatbush Zombies and
killing
New York with these underground killers.
Yes.
I think we talked about that before.
Front to fucking back, like so dope. You guys need to listen to that mixtape.
Just reminds me of being
I'm gonna put it on the Beat Baux playlist because it's a straight shooter just through YouTube. There's all of them just in one video. So I'm gonna put it there and treat you guys.
Many a flight from LAX to Norfolk, Virginia was accompanied by me listening to that. Lord's Never Worry.
I was in college and
I was in college,
I listened to a lot with my ex, Casey. He put me onto a lot of really good music. He kept me current for years on shit. So he's thankful. I'm thankful for that. So yeah.
The only we're talking about in 2024 is what formerly was Twitter.
Huh?
The only X we're talking about in 2024 is what was formerly Twitter. And his
mom's
name called him Twitter, so I'm still calling him Twitter.
Fuck that place anyways. Yeah, for real. That's just a free place. That's just a free place to go bust a nut, and I hate that.
True that. Yeah, my for the Thickness Pro account, my whole Twitter feed is a whole porn site. It's a pretty good one too.
Hey, Thickabell just waved at us. Hi, Thickabell. Over on the Insta. Yes. So moving on. Wait, one more thing. Mac Miller's birthday is on Friday, so rest in peace also to Mac Miller.
Long live Mac Miller.
19th, 1992.
And he was born, 92. Same as me, Mac Miller, baby.
It's a good year. Good year.
You
know what? Actually, my sister was born in 1992, I think.
Okay. I didn't know that.
She was. So you're the same.
Since 92. Look at all the bullshit I've been through.
I love that. I actually posted a story with that song the other day. Okay, so now it is time for everybody's favorite part. We're gonna talk about music that's dropped this week.
New music.
So the albums so far this month have been kind of underwhelming, or things that are already being talked about a lot. And you know me, I'm a dirty hipster, and I always want to pick something kind of like off the beaten path a little bit. So I was just having a hard time, and it was going to be just kind of like, oh, I'm going to do Cuddy, which you've been working on a lot. And
guys, we got Palm is giving you guys a solo analysis of the Kid Cudi Insano album.
Right. So I didn't want to do that on here and just have a repeat. So I decided to pick a bunch of really fire singles that dropped this week. So we've got a really good array of singles, but let's start with your album of the week, Dylan.
All right. Well, my EP of the week actually comes from Inglewood rapper Lil Deuce, Clark Kent. It's a 7-song project. DJ Charisma's hosting it. And you know what? I met Lil Deuce before, so shout out to him. If you guys are familiar with some of these hood memes that have gone on over the years, there's one from a YouTube channel from a couple of years ago where the dude is like, be safe, because safes get cracked. You got to stay dangerous. And Lil Deuce was in that same circle of bloods like when that happened, you know. So he's been kind of like one of those LA artists in the background for the last couple of years. You know, one of his biggest single is Outside, Tiny Young freestyle, got 1,300,000 plays and up. So it's pretty impressive to kick off a start to. But for this 7-song project, I kind of felt like, you know what, it was decent. but the beats kind of outweighed the lyrics. You know, he can rap, like he definitely has bars, but there's not really enough substance. It's get money, bitches shaking ass, and it's, you know, typical rapper shit. And you know what? It kind of made me think, why is LA so region locked? You know, we're seeing memes like, oh, when Draco passed away, he took the scoreboard with him. Why is, you know, LA being, you know, the second biggest city in the country, biggest city on the West Coast, you know, the originator of so much of this hip hop shit I can't live without? Why is LA not doing the damn thing currently like we should? And I look at this project and it's like, you know what, it's decent. Like, you know, that Really Want, where he sampled Lloyd, Get It Shotty, was kind of, you know, if that came on at a function, you know, I'd dance with it, probably try to give me a little twerk to it. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, what new are you bringing to the table? Absolutely nothing. You know, the joint Kamikaze with Lange 2K. I hope I'm pronouncing bro's name right. You know what? Dude doing the feature kind of sounded like, you know, the Walmart Kalen for real. And it's not a bad song. It's just LA has a sound. And as you drive through LA, that sound really hits. But I can honestly understand why, if you are not from this, you will not receive this. You know, I'm from this. But in Fawxy's case, she's not from this. In many of your cases, you guys are all around the world. You're not from this, you know? So, you know, I kind of want to see how Lil Deuce matches up against another rapper. I'm kind of curious about like the project he dropped a couple of years ago with Rob Vicious from Shoreline Mafia, because I think, you know, other kind of like niche rappers who are kind of like in the cut, you know, Palm fucks with, you know, them rappers, right? You know, to somebody who's like off to the side, you know. Yeah, so and Lil Duke's kind of one of those dudes who's kind of like off to the side, but, you know, potential. But, you know, did it hit the mark? I don't know. The song PMG, I think that beat was just so knocking and so hard. I want to give hats off to the producer. But at the end of the day, you know, I think this is just a little appetizer from Lil Deuce to see, you know, what might be next to come from him.
Right. Well, and you know, I've always really like rocked with East Coast like hip hop and rap like way more than West Coast, but it's really funny because when it comes to like West Coast style music, I fucking love like the post-punk scene or like the indie scene. Like I think for West Coast we have it down with that kind of shit, but you know, like you said, I'm not from LA, but because you have introduced me to so much LA rap over the last year, as soon as I put this album on without even knowing, I was like, oh, Dylan just put on another LA rapper because you can just hear that style, and it is just very unique to what's coming out of that area. And I didn't dislike it. It was fine, but it was nothing that stuck out in a sea of music that's got like a lot of different things going on to me. But I did enjoy it. It wasn't something that I was like, fuck, I can't wait till these 3 songs that I put on the playlist are over so I can move on. Like I enjoyed listening to it. You guys should definitely check it out. And I'm curious to see, you know, people that have not spent time in LA, do you hear that LA sound when you listen to music like this? Or like what do you perceive from it? Like, you know, it'd be really cool if you guys, you know, tell us when you listen to the music, tell us what you like. It would be kind of fun to have just like a episode where the people in the chat, we just talk about the music that maybe you've heard through Beat Baux, because there are 230 something songs on our playlist.
Oh, shout out to the Beat Baux playlist. Every time we talk about music on this show, Fawxy is adding it to that playlist. So head over to YouTube. The link is in Fawxy Box's bio, along with some other spicy links that you should subscribe to.
Yes,
so listen to that Beat Baux playlist. You know, all of our songs that we discuss on the show wind up on that playlist.
Yep. And also, you're going to get that ASAP mixtape today. So it's just
lots of music. Lots of music to hear, you guys.
So yeah, let's go before we talk about our shared album. Let's talk about one of my singles. What should we start with? Should we talk about the Ariana Grande? Yes, and
I think we should.
Okay, so I actually kind of don't like that person. I don't really care for Ariana Grande. She's always given me really bad, like gross vibes. I feel like, and it's weird that the things have come out that she's kind of an unsavory character. She doesn't really have a great reputation, and she steals people's mans, which is kind of like foul as a girl's girl. I hate that.
Seems to, you know, be what I would dub as poisonous pussy. You know, R.I.P. to Mac Miller, and if Pete Davidson comes across you, well then, hey, you know, there's something about you that is peculiar, to say the least.
Interesting. Yeah, so but I did like this song. It was good. It was a good one. And I liked that she just was basically clapping back at everybody and she's like, yeah, well, say what
You know
you
what? I
can.
thought it was a little like little too zesty for my taste, a little too, you know, West Hollywood for my car as I was driving up from Leimert Park. It was just a little too zesty. You know,
Did
I
you feel
just was not in
awkward
the mood to
rocking it
take
in
it.
your car?
No, it's not that I felt awkward because there's plenty of like, you know, EDM dance and pop music that I definitely enjoy in my car. But you know, when something sounds so pop and so disco inspired to me, it's just like, you know, me being a real nigga, it's just like, you know, I can be comfortable listening to it, but it's not my thing of choice. And it also depends, you know, as I was explaining to you, now my listening habits are that of a commuter. And you know, depending on the setting and the backdrop, you know, I just can't fully vibe with it. I just couldn't pick it up in that moment. Now,
Yeah.
if that came on in a club that predominantly played like top 40, okay, now it's like familiar to us. And then now I, you know, reference in my mind, hey, this was on the Beat Baux playlist.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you hear it over the next few months, you're gonna think about this Beat Baux playlist, and so will the rest of you.
There you go.
So yeah, it's pretty run of the mill pop music, but
What's
I
your
like
next
run
single,
of the mill.
Foxy?
So the next one we're going to talk about is really like a hot topic right now. Lil Nas X is the king of the trolls. He really, I think, just does stuff with the intentions of making it clickbait, which I fuck with that. It's good business strategy. So his new single that he put out the music video for is called "Hey Christ." Did you watch the video, Dylan?
I sure did. You know what? I was in traffic, so I was kind of glancing down. But that's pretty much all I had to see is that, you know, I think that he tried to outdo himself from the Montero video. And he's not the first person to make fun of Jesus Christ or dress up like him. But you know what? For what it's worth, you know what? You got to understand Lil Nas X is an entertainer. And for those of you Christians who are saying this is blasphemy, you know, learn to take a joke. And for those
Yeah.
of you LGBT folks who want to get defensive when people make fun of Lil Nas X or anybody else from your community, take a joke.
Yeah, I think that it's fair, like, to just be like, hey, it's art. Also, like, you
Yeah.
don't have to take shit so, like, seriously. Sometimes art is just art. I really like him. I think that he's talented. I loved the visuals in the video. As somebody that really like fucks with theology, I love learning about all sorts of like religions, and I liked the religious imagery and the, you know, he zested it up with some, you know, drag looks, and I love that shit.
It was a
Uh,
good time. I think, you know, the LGBT community kind of clapping back at Christianity, you know, whether it's, you know, lighthearted or not. I think, you know, for what it's worth, I was entertained. So, you
yeah,
know, like, and I was telling somebody else, you know, a real cool young lady uh, who I'm friends with named Imani, shout out to her, a Christian woman. And she was saying, what do you think of the new Lil Nas X video? And what I told her was, you know what, hey, it's entertainment. You know, it's like, hey, and also what I said is like, hey, in the words of Dr. Dre, I ain't tripping. Love to see young blacks get money.
yeah, I really honestly like, I think that in this day and age, there are so many things that are going on that are just fucking awful that in the big scheme of things, like, why are people riled up over Lil Nas X instead of like, I don't know, maybe
The
the
war
fact
in
that
Pakistan.
we've been hit with a ton of snow in our country and power grids are failing because our infrastructure is so fucking dated and we haven't progressed. I mean, like, what the fuck are you guys doing caring about Lil Nas X's music video like that? Like,
Yeah,
go
exactly. I think, you know, in our country, in our world, there's greater fish to fry, but I think people are always kind of looking for a
something
distraction to be
PC.
mad at. So, like, you know, hey, point fingers at the queer black guy, but he's just sitting over there dressed as Jesus making money.
Right. He doesn't fucking care.
He
He's
doesn't
black.
fucking care.
He did this so that you would do that. You're just kind of giving
Ooh, Foxy's
you're
stripping you
giving the
guys.
gays your money.
Giving
Hello. Yeah, no, I am filming a wham scene after this, so I wasn't about to get all pretty to smash fucking cakes all over myself. So you know, balance.
Frosting on the boobies. Frosting on the boobies at 11.
Frosting freaking scrubbed into my hair more like, yeah. They love that. It's funny. If you guys don't know, like my main bread and butter has oddly become wet and messy fetish videos.
That's one sweet, messy white girl.
But I put all sorts of stuff all over myself for money. I did a corn syrup with Caro corn syrup. I used, I think, 9 bottles of it a few weeks ago, and that shit gave me a fucking midlife crisis. Like
corn syrup. Why don't you put something actually edible on you? I mean, it's edible, but like a cooking product.
It's not. No, corn syrup it's corn syrup. Like, so the wham it's not my choice. It's not like I'm gonna do this. This is what people are requesting from me.
You know? We know.
So it's very interesting, but the shampooing with the different things, that's like
the cleanup process is a lot.
Oh yeah, that's why you know, that's why a lot of people don't do it.
Should we talk about more singles, or should we move on to our...
No, let's talk about our shared album real quick.
21 Savage, American Dream. A lot of people are talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. Donald Glover was involved in the rollout, did some acting and writing for it. Awesome idea, I think. You know what? 21 Savage is a very talented MC. Not really the typical rapper who you would find in my car, in my headphones, or on my playlists. But for what it's worth, I thought this album was pretty dope. I think he came with quality on the lyrical side and on the production side. I didn't like all of it because some of it did sound homogenous, but I think his collaborations were outside the box enough to captivate my ear and keep me coming back.
Yes.
You know, the record he did with Doja Cat, I really like their chemistry on that one.
It was so good. And Doja kind of came with a bit of a different flow than what she normally does. And I was like, wait, is that Doja? That is Doja.
I'd have to say my favorite song off of here is See the Real. I think, 21 Savages was just kind of one of those gangster rappers who's also like open about his feelings, open about his life, open about his trials, tribulations, adversity, and vulnerable too. I think the collaboration with Summer Walker, Prove It, was beautiful. I think, I'm a sucker for a beautiful guy-girl duet. So, well, I'm not a sucker for shit, but I'm very appreciative of a good guy-girl duet, the Venus and Mars type of thing. And they came correct on that. Then should have wore a bonnet. I love me some Brent Faiyaz. It was great to see him. Red Sky. I hadn't heard Mickey Echo's music in a while, so it was like really refreshing to hear him on that, fade out. And, he opened it up to other artists like Mariah the Scientist. I don't want to keep highlighting just the songs that were the features, but, I think the features kind of, made this album, really what it is. 4 out of 5 if I was doing a Palm review, maybe a 4.7 out of 5. Yeah, let me give it a 4.7 out of 5. It was pretty good with room for improvement.
I fucked up and didn't go live on Instagram this whole time. I was wondering where all my people were.
Oh yeah, I see it just live on TPP's IG, but
yeah, well, we're live on Fawxy's little Insta now. So I would give it probably a 7 out of 10 myself, because like you had said, it's not something that I would be like listening to on my free time, but I did enjoy it. It was well put together. I had only heard 21 Savage because of that song that he did with Drake, and everybody was clowning on Drake. And he's going,
girl, where have you been? So 2016 Slaughter Gang shit, Murder Gang shit, you were just nowhere to be found?
Nope, not. I wasn't listening to that kind of stuff in 2016. I've always
Rockstar with Post Malone, you were just under a rock somewhere, and
I don't listen to mainstream.
Okay.
I don't. Like back then, like I told you, like we were fucking with Odd Future and Tyler the Creator and ASAP Mob, and I was still listening to my backpack rap. Like I wasn't.
So in 2016, 2017, mentally you were still in 2011, 2012.
Yeah, musically. I was mentally in that era of music until we started Beat Baux.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm aware of this. It's just like I'm now reminded of this. Because
Yeah,
Savage has had a pretty good career, and faced a lot of adversity with almost getting deported back to where he was born in the UK. But Zone 6 is his home, Atlanta is his home, and I think he really is one of the forerunners of today's modern Atlanta sound. Shout out to the artists in the chat. Good Palm Tree, Cam Archer, what up? Pink Tor, what up?
Hey. So yeah, I am really, that's like a big reason why I love doing this podcast, because it's reawoken my love for music outside of just what I go to. Because also you have to remember, I was really majorly like listening to like a lot of EDM. And so that was during 2016, I was heavily like doing EDM or like just indie. So
I see.
when it came to the new stuff that was coming out, it was just kind of like, ooh, Post Malone, why would I listen to something like that? I was like, who is this? He's a dork. So yeah, let's talk about another one of my singles that I chose this week, which I was so excited to see all of these different singles that I chose. I was passionately choosing each one of them. Next, let's talk about Kim Gordon's Bye Bye. So if you guys don't know who Kim Gordon is, she's from Sonic Youth.
Okay.
So she's like a riot girl, like for me being like an indie kid, being from Eastern Washington State, the Pacific Northwest, that kind of stuff is very
grunge music has a special place in your heart.
Yeah, definitely. And just any kind of like alti style. So she's somebody that I always really like fucked with. So when I saw that she had a single out, I was like, word. And then when I listened to it and it just felt like a shit post, but it was like actually good. I was like, she basically lists off her like shopping list. What did you perceive that as? Was it like a shopping list in your head?
I like the beat. It was 808. It was distorted. It was just like raw. And then she was kind of rapping on there. It kind of felt like a white female Tyler, the Creator. It was unique,
Yeah, like it was very unique. And so that was really awesome. I would definitely suggest to check out that one. It's very unique. There's not really much depth to it, but that's kind of like the depth of it, is because it's just showing like, hey, good music has these different components that make it good. A lot of times the lyrical content doesn't have to be anything with substance, and yet at the same time a lot of people really bitch about that in today's music. So it's kind of, I think, maybe like a social commentary that she did or something. That's the way I think about it, and maybe I'm thinking far into it, where I shouldn't be, but that's what I took from it. So shout out to Kim Gordon for doing like a hip hop track. Like that was very unexpected. I did not have that on my 2024.
I'm definitely going back on that too, and you can go back on it as well if you listen to the Beatbox playlist, which you can find in Fawxy Box's bio.
Yeah, that was another mention of it today. I want to eventually, like, if we go back and like edit these, like make like a word of the day, it's kind of thing, like like how they did on like Pee Wee's Playhouse, where they're like,
Pee-wee's Playhouse. Shout out to Finney's Playhouse.
Yeah, Finney's Playhouse, Finney Fox. He had a last name change recently.
I just thought of like, at the end of Super Smash Bros. This game's winner is Fox.
It would be really fun if we could collaborate, like we had talked about, on doing something like some kind of thing, like not like a porny one, just a fun one, like
yeah.
Be wholesome, guys. When I was younger, here's a little funny Foxy story. When I was younger, I had an apartment and I had a lot of couch surfers. I would let everybody stay with me because I'm so nice. And so I had a lot of young men that lived with me, probably like from the ages of like 21 to like 27. I had like 4 or 5 of them that were kind of the protectors of my apartment. So my sister and I used to be like, we're just wild, so we'd be like, let's fucking play Smash Bros. And we'd like grab like pots and pans or like cans of Febreze or just like random like melee weapons. And we'd just fucking start in the kitchen and we'd be like, okay, go. And we just all kind of like beat each other with melee weapons. Everybody would get mad because I'd always be the one grabbing like Febreze and shit, just like fuck you guys. So yeah, that's how we get entertained in North Idaho in 2008.
Wow. Wow, that dispelled a myth for you. You don't fight each other with potatoes. Whip each other's
No.
asses with sacks of potatoes and
There's
french
too much
fry oil.
fucking snow for potatoes on this area, first of all.
Snow? What's snow?
Wow. And it's not what you put up your nose, you cokeheads.
We know a lot about that in LA.
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy how much like cocaine culture is just interwoven as like a normal thing anymore. It's as normal as somebody having a beer.
I disagree, but okay.
Oh wow, yeah.
So, honestly, alcohol with a younger generation is probably not even nearly as popular
as it used to be.
Yeah, as it used to be.
So you think that cocaine is more popular than alcohol now?
No, I think it's probably more like pills, like Xanax, Percocets, like the pills, the painkillers, the stimulants. Like,
see, people can't get that stuff anymore.
So, I proudly missed that whole wave because everything's cut with fentanyl now.
It all made me sick, so I could never fuck with opiates.
It's all about fentanyl.
Woo!
Fuck fentanyl.
Yeah, fuck that shit. And fuck our pharmaceutical companies for putting the American people in the situation they have with the opioid epidemic. God, I always get so political. I can't help it. Okay, so let's do, I've got two more singles. We've got...
Shout out Hip Hop Organics, MC Johnny T's up in here.
Hey, we were just talking about you earlier at the beginning of the episode. Yes, we love you. We fucking love you. I was telling everybody about you being an innovator and like somebody that stood up for big girls to have them in your music videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm proud.
Because hip hop, because Johnny T is probably from that era of Blueprint. Big girls need love too. Remember from Rhymesayers?
Yeah. So I really fuck with Johnny T, and he gave me the best birthday present ever. I love that. So Scrim from Suicide Boys has a single called Paradise. I fucking hated it.
You know what? If that song was by anybody other than Scrim, I would be so unimpressed. It was so like almost typical rapper, but just had that little emo bit enough of it just to be like, okay, this is G59. I'm G59 obsessed. So like, well, I don't want to sound like a little groupie ass bitch, but I'm gray till my dying day, so what am I trying to say here? You know what? I just got so much love for the boys, that it's like almost I fuck with anything that they drop, but that was kind of so mid.
That's how I felt. And
yeah, that was such a mid song. But he's got better singles on the way if he's going to do another solo project.
You probably had a different experience also with the track than I did because I was listening to all the music through my projector speaker. And so that shit I thought was going to blow my fucking projector speaker. It was so low and rumbly. I bet you it sounded a lot better in your car than it did in my room.
It probably did sound a lot better, but I feel like I missed out on the experience of the music video because I was
He's wearing like a cowboy hat and shit.
He's wearing a cowboy hat, and that's pretty much all I took away from it. And that's not the first time Scrim's worn a cowboy hat. There's another Suicide Boys music video I can't recall the name of that he does put on a cowboy hat.
I felt really bad.
You sound like fucking nerds.
It's okay. That's what we're here. We're here to nerd out on music. Sorry that other people are not as hip and cool as us.
You dig.
Anyway, I like Scrim a lot though, but I felt like a meanie being like, I hate this.
Produced by Vigil says, I've seen Suicide Boys like 4 times. They were actually my first concert that wasn't in someone's backyard. Damn, dude, you must be really, really young. You know what? Speaking of in somebody's backyard, I actually had a chance to catch, it was 2015. They did a show at a LA warehouse downtown. Suicide Boys, Puya, Fat Nick, Ramirez, Black Smurf, Jay Green, who else? But also like Left Brain was there. Who else might have been there? Eddie Baker, I think, probably was there. So it was really like that good wave of SoundCloud rap all in one motherfucking building. And you know what? I live for that era. That's why I call myself Jesus of SoundCloud.
Right. And I missed the SoundCloud era. That was not me. That was not what I was doing.
But I died for your plays. Jesus of SoundCloud.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh,
what other singles we got here?
A fucking.
Yeah, we're talking about. I feel like I said, what other singles we got here? I feel like now Beat Baux is now a fucking dating app.
Just kidding. All right, so we'll talk about my last single. My last single is going to be Wyclef Jean, and a bunch of other people. Do you remember who's all
that Wyclef Jean posse cut with Pusha T and many others was really good.
Yeah, with Push It, and many others. I think there was like 5 people.
Whoever was doing the hook, was it Wyclef himself? I'm not sure, but he sounded just like Rod Wave.
It was Paper Right is the song's name. And you guys, it's so good. It was so good. I knew that if Wyclef was putting something out, it was going to be good.
It's a smooth little reggae track. Can't be mad at it. Little
really,
hip-hop reggae.
Well, it was kind of hard to actually like genre that. I didn't know exactly what genre really to consider it because there was a lot of different like.
Well, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, the female artist in that song did kind of sound like the Walmart Cardi B. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but her voice did sound a lot like Cardi B.
It was all Sam's Club. That was her name.
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club. So that is all of our songs for this week. I would really appreciate if you guys go check them out. Let us know what you think.
All right.
I love it. We're gonna end off
sex worker tip of the night.
We're not doing a sex worker tip of the night. We're doing a podcaster tip of the night, but it's just a human tip of the night, honestly. And that's your tip, which is building your tribe.
Building your tribe through repetition. Yeah. So as I've been kind of having a background goal to incorporate more personalities on the platform, Fawxy Box has cemented herself now part of the Palmverse, if you will, the Palm official family, as the co-host and the one half of Beat Baux. And it doesn't just stop at her. There's a lot of repeated personalities that you have seen in this universe, whether it be on Palm or on TPP, and the goal is to mix that up. So, I take cues from Bro Humper, but I take cues from, other platforms I see. But what you want to do is that you want to keep, having your friends on to encourage them to go and do better and do better and do better and do better. And just enjoy those good conversations, enjoy those good moments, because then we're all about fostering community. So I think the more you repeat personalities on your show, you'll then build community. So I had the pleasure of sitting down with Zuri Love yesterday. We did our podcast at Morris Media. The live version, you're going to get a final edited version, but the live broadcast version is available now on Palm Official here on YouTube. So you check that out. We did an awesome podcast. We had so much in common. It was a great time. She has an incredible story. And one thing, her being blurred and super into music and into video games, is that she fits perfectly in this universe that we are trying to create. And with her being a curvaceous sex worker, it's just you're so perfect. You're hired, So what I want to encourage, the podcasters to do is just, get your teams together, because, how do you build a franchise with only one character?
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And even for your personal brand, if you are a sex worker, obviously your hustle should never be determined by anybody else's. That's a fucking rule number one for me, at least. And that's why I adamantly stay as a solo performer. But it's really helpful to do that networking and to meet people and to put yourself out there. People automatically think in this industry that people are going to be catty, undercutting, which that's any industry. To be very honest, I've had more catty and undercutting things happen to me when I was in property management and corporate life. So I put myself out there. If people don't reciprocate my energy, I can learn, and I'm cool.
For you podcasters out there, Kitty, for you podcasters out there, be aware of other brands, be aware of, what are your peers doing, do collabs, appear on other podcasts, listen to other podcasts, build your circle.
Figure out who looks good. When you're building your brand, you notice people that have similar aesthetic to you, similar vibe, things like that. Work with those people, because it's proven that collabing with people, even just on a live, You know, if I go live with another girl that I just really get along with, we both go up in followers and potentially have new clients every single time. And it's such a tool to just be a girl's girl, to
Right.
just be a good person, to just fucking like support other humans, because at the end of the day, like, there's plenty of attention to go around for everybody.
Exactly. Support other humans, because one of the things I'm doing with like Palmcast Live is like, just with creators I'm just finding, or artists I'm just finding through Instagram, through them having ads, I'm just taking a chance to get to know them via live. And I did that. Shout out to Young Naz. Everybody go check him out. I did that last Saturday with him. I got another Palmcast Live this Saturday with an artist out of Minneapolis via Philly named Uncle T. She's really dope. So again, in that Palm spirit, we're just going to keep coming in with introducing you to a lot of really dope talent, so that's what we're going to do. That's what we've always done.
It's awesome. Yeah. And I just had the experience over in Seattle and just spending time with like Makana Moon.
Exactly. Because like I got to know like those girls. I got to know a lot of those girls you shot with. Shout out to Makana at BBW at Chicago Exotica,
It's just BBW to Dylan. He said, I just went to BBW and I met all the girls.
I'll always just go to BBW. Hey, what am I? Ask me what I'm doing later. Just going to BBW.
Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, those collaborations that I did, the friendships that I've created, the getting to know Makana, and just putting myself out there to just be like, you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You gotta, it's again, standing in your truth, guys.
Building the community, because like, you've seen, if you guys watch my BBW boat ride vlog, shout out to Pipeswell, you've seen like me with Amazon Amanda. Fawxy was just out in Seattle shooting with her. Luna Lark was there. You've seen Luna Lark on Thickness Protection Program and in that same boat ride vlog. Okay, so we're all connected. This is all the protectors. This is all the palm tree. You see them thick ladies and them palm trees in the background? You dig.
Did you make that, by the way? It's so cute.
I sure did. Yeah. The palm trees came from, shout out to whomever this is on Pinterest. I ain't got no money. You can't sue me. So
I mean, just try it. It'll be a good topic to talk about on Beat Baux.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was a really good episode. I think that I just enjoyed myself a lot. What do you think, Dylan? What do you guys think, audience?
And thank you, Vigil, the palm leaf or palm reader. Vigil says, shout out to Palm too for having one of the only great Catchy the Great interviews. Yeah. God rest Catchy the Great soul. Got the final interview with him. I did not know that when we spoke in early 2020, that would be my first and last time talking with that brother. We were actually going to do that face-to-face at Vitawood, but due to COVID, numbers rising at the time, I just didn't think it was safe, and that's not something I regret. I think, as, we look back on it, I think it's a sign of the times, that we were in, and I think that from that interview, of the quality that was, that's when I dubbed the term lo-fi journalism.
Yeah, and that's good journalism too, when you get those interviews and they're good, and that's it's a blessing that you were able to do that. I am sorry to my Instagram, you guys. I did not hop on until the very end. I didn't realize I didn't go live yet. We're still working out the kinks with using this studio, but doesn't look so nice. So I'm looking at my comments now. Makana's in the comments. So hi, we were talking good behind your back. That fucking rocks.
Good behind your back. And see, that's another character, who's been on my platform before, and we want her back. Think we could get the podcast threesome going.
Yes, that'd be so fun. We would have so much fun. And Matt is over on my Instagram now. He makes his rounds. He supports us on every fucking platform. I love you, Matt.
When you guys see Matt at Chicago Exotica, make sure you say hi.
Matt should fucking get an AVN, goddammit.
Matt needs an AVN, the real fan of the award. Hey, Matt, you're the real MVP. Matt for president.
Yeah, Matt for fucking president 2024, the most supportive person I've ever met. And there's not one person that I'm friends with throughout this whole network that Matt's not fucking supporting.
We love Matt. Hey, no more we want thickness, although we do want thickness. We want Matt. We want Matt.
we want crowned prince.
We want crowned prince. Yeah.
Matt,
All
what's
right,
your
everybody.
birthday?
Matt's an Aries.
I fights with
Aries.
Aries.
You fights with Aries.
Fights with you.
My dad was Aries. Rest in peace.
We're gonna do a Matt birthday special.
Oh yeah, we gotta do a Matt birthday special.
We're going to. We're gonna have Matt's birthday
Oh
party.
yeah. Oh, I got an idea for that. When we hop off, we should do something like that. You might have already mentioned this before, but we gotta do it.
I love this so much.
Oh no. Johnny T, we looping you in, man.
Yes. Okay. Matt's birthday is April 13th, so put it on your fucking calendars, protectors.
And a week later, the world's gonna run out of weed when me and Fawxy smoke up for 420.
Amen. Makana too. All right.
Makana too.
Well, I love you, Dill. We just lost Instagram because we hit an hour, so we will sign off over here on YouTube. It's been a pleasure. We appreciate you guys. If you're checking this out after the live and catching up with us, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell us how fucking pretty we are, and be kind to each other.
One more comment I just see on the IG. Vigil said, one request, Palm. I think it'd be dope if you reach out to Susie Marie. She's my favorite adult performer. I'm going to screenshot that because I'm not familiar with her.
Yeah, I don't know her either, but I bet you she's lovely.
I bet she's lovely. If she got some big titties, I might. It's body positivity, so I'm sure.
Yeah, we like little, But the thing is Fawxy likes little titties. So
come on, titty, come on, titty.
Woo! All right, we love you guys.
Right. Peace, love, Palm. We want thickness.
We want Mattness. Goodbye.